Green-White Depths. Yeah, this is a list that I've been playing, but a little bit different to the actual list that I've been playing. I did play Green-White Depths at Eternal Weekend, and I had a bit of trouble with just finding the right side of the deck that I needed when I needed it, which is always going to happen with a deck without manipulation in Ponder and Brainstorm. But I think this deck does have some amount of manipulation, whether that's through Elvish Reclaimer, Knight, and Crop Rotation, or even just Green Sun Zenith. So I've added in a few one-ofs to just try them out and see how they go. So the main one here is Urza's Saga, which is obviously a really powerful card. I think it's really good in this version because we are playing Thespian Stage, which can make extra copies of it. We are playing Ramanap to get it back from the graveyard. And although I am only playing the one main deck piece to find with Pith Needle, other than Mox Diamond, I still think it's really powerful. Even just making those constructs and creating a kind of secondary win condition is really strong. So that should be pretty cool. We do have a Soul Guide Lantern in the sideboard. I like Soul Guide because it can be cashed in for a card as well if not really needed. But also just that sort of ability to get Soul Guide or a piece of Graveyard Hate from Saga is really nice. So I think that Soul Guide is pretty good there. I was thinking of Shadow Spear. I just couldn't find room for it. But Shadow Spear is pretty nice, especially against some of the decks that have a lot of flyers that can just sort of chump Marit Lage. Things like 8-cast, which obviously make the 1/1 flyers off Sai. Retrofitted Foundry was another card that I wanted to think about, but I found a lot of the time when I was playing Retrofitted Foundry, I didn't want to be using the mana for Retrofitted Foundry. I wanted to be doing different things, and I just didn't really fit in the game plan that I wanted for the deck. Although obviously very powerful, just didn't really do what I wanted the thing to do. So that's a little change. And also I took out Mazavith for Blast Zone. I feel like both do similar things, but Blast Zone just has that ability to allow me to find removal of Elvish Reclaimer, Knight, Crop Rotation, which is really strong, especially against Delver. I've been finding a few times where if I had Blast Zone in the deck, it would have been, taking out a Ragavan, a DRC, maybe 2 DRCs, just a lot of really powerful cards. And also against decks like Death and Taxes, or some of the other fair decks, Blast Zone can be really good. So I did want that, especially that I'm not playing the black splash. Having Blast Zone against something like Elves is pretty strong as well. So hopefully that's, a nice addition to the deck. Nothing else too much. I was trying to figure out a deck that played 4 Mox Diamonds, just to really increase the rate of having them in your opening hand up to that 39.9%, but I've opted not to. It is a pretty bad top deck. This deck can't really afford that. We do have the Sylvan Library to make sure we don't draw into them, but I think for now, hopefully it's going to be okay. So yeah, let's get into some matches and see how the deck performs. Because I think it's in a pretty nice spot. If you're patient with your lines, don't try to rush too many things, you can definitely come out on top, which is pretty cool. But yeah, definitely tough to be playing Maverick right now when you do have access to Green-White Depths, which I think the 2020 win condition is just a little bit more powerful. Alright, let's look at this hand. Definitely an interesting one. We do have access to turn 1 Mox, pitch Forest, play Wasteland, Green Suns for Dried Arbor. That's pretty strong. I could also pitch the Wasteland if I wanted to keep the Forest. Definitely going to keep it. It's nice because it also has removal in Swords to Plowshares. A turn 2 in Knight's really strong. Yeah, maybe I will keep the Forest, especially because there's a world where they get rid of the Mox early on, and the Wasteland we have access to through the Crop and the Knight, so I do actually like that. There's also a world where I actually don't even need to cast the Mox Diamond this turn. I could wait to draw out something else. I don't think my opponent's going to like Chalice for 0. So I think just probably passing here is fine. The only reason to play the Mox is that I could hold up Crop or Swords. And maybe there's a world where that's actually worth it. Yeah. Hey, Paul. A few beers in. Okay, well, obviously against the Cloudpost deck, I do want to try to get access to Wasteland pretty quickly, so getting this Knight online is going to be pretty good. What I don't want to see from my opponent is a Pithing Needle. But at least next turn we could like Green Suns for Ramanap, get back Wasteland, do some shenanigans, which is pretty cool. But we also have access to the combo next turn if we want, through Crop Rotation and Knight. So a few options. Another Knight. Interesting. I think here I'll just play the second Knight and then hold up a Wasteland. I don't really want to be hitting the Glim of Hosts. I'd rather be hitting the Cloudposts. So I think that's fair. 3 mana for Knight, hold up Knight. There's also potential for Ramanap into Wasteland. Second Knight's just a little bit better. It's also a pretty fast clock once we start getting through some lands. I think this is fine. See what they get off the map. Nothing. Interesting. Another map, sure. Glimmer Post, sure. Hey Harvey, I am staying in Brisbane. Just moving locally to move out with some friends, which should be pretty cool. I kind of like just getting stage here, but then they probably go for Caracas, which is a little bit annoying. I guess we have the Crop Rotation for Wasteland anyway. I don't mind that. Could also just, yeah, I think I will go for stage. Let's have a quick think. We have a lot of time, which is nice. And this matchup is one that, although is pretty grindy, usually is over within a few turns due to the Eldrazi. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna go for stage. Opponent having a pretty big thing. Hey, Red. Moving north or south? Moving north? Closer to the Brisbane River. Around like a kind of Indooroopilly to Wong kind of area. Savannah's actually a pretty nice draw. This means I can hold up the combo and something else, which is pretty nice, and also just hold up the knights as well. Cloudpost is going to be fine. Combo wind protection is pretty good here. I guess the one thing they could have is like forest and then crop rotation into Caracas, which would be pretty tough. They're going to crack map right now. This is still fine because even if they get like, they can't get their own Thespian stage to do anything, Caracas is great for us. This does nothing. That's going to be okay. So I don't even need to use... They didn't even float white, which is really interesting. Nice. The knights are also pretty big right now, which is great. So we do just have lethal in one swing, which is awesome. Nice. Cloudpost. I like the forces. I don't need the collector oof. Prismatic endings I do like because of Pith Needle. Pretty happy to take out the endurance, a Sylvan Library, the Blast Zone, and probably the Bajuka Bog. I think this is all pretty nice. They could have a Ramanap, but I think we have enough ways to deal with that. I think this is pretty good. I don't think we need the the oof either, because it's mainly just Expedition Map. Some decks might be playing like Walking Blister, but I haven't seen Walking Blister in a long time. I think this is pretty sweet. Just more ways to make sure that the combo is going to be online through a Pithy Needle. Double Wasteland's nice. We do have access to Termon Reclaimer, and then we can maybe find a Green Suns for Night of Autumn if they try to like get rid of these Wastelands through Needle, but pretty happy to keep this. Okay. My opponent could have Surgical. I've definitely seen Surgical being brought in. Oh, that's actually really nice. Get rid of the step. Play Reclaimer. There's also a world that I could have gone Green Sons of a Dryad Arbor there, and then next turn play Knight. That's pretty nice. I think here I'm still happy to Wasteland and then Green Suns for Dryad Arbor. Making that a 3/4 as well, which allows us to start actually clocking them. So this is actually looking like a really strong start from us. Temple's going to be okay. Interesting to see Temple in the deck. Oh, Needle. That's fine. We actually have the lands anyway already. I wonder what they name. I'm going to assume Wasteland, but Reclaimer. Yeah, that makes sense. I think because of our current board state, I'm actually happy just to play Knight of the Reliquary here. I don't really have a target just yet. Pretty crazy that we also just have lethal if they have an Ancient Tomb as their land. So turning off Ancient Tomb is pretty huge. Glimmer Post is pretty nice for them. Spyglass is fine. I'm going to assume that it's named Knight of the Reliquary here. But yeah, I can see them conceding there because the Knight of Autumn takes care of the Spyglass. I can then use the Knight to maybe go and get a Wasteland for the Glimmer Post. It's a really tough situation. I think luckily there's a really nice hand, and the Mox off the top just let us be a little bit more aggressive, which is pretty nice. So always cool to come off with a win in our first round. Very cool. But yeah, Cloudpost can definitely be difficult if they have a Pithing Needle start and then just get the Cloudpost together and start getting some real mana going. But if you can deal with the Pithing Needles, then Wasteland can really have an effect on how fast they can put together something. Also, my opponent looking to be on an Eldrazi build, maybe not like a mono green post build, where it looked like they didn't have green mana the whole time. So if they did, that's obviously a pretty big upset because Green Suns, crop rotation, if they're in your hand, you can't cast them. Nice. Up against Paragon. What do we got? We have a turn 1 Needle. We have no colored mana. I am probably going to mulligan this hand. We have one piece of the combo. We have some removal, but really want to make sure that if we draw into like another Wasteland, it's going to be pretty tough. Or even just draw into another colored spell. I'd rather go to 6 here. Once you start mulliganing with a deck like this, you really hope that your mulligans contain Sylvan Library, because it's a really nice way to recoup some of that card loss. Someone redeemed a Saturday challenge? Did they? Did I miss that? Mozza, what are you talking about? Where are we? Look, if a Saturday challenge is going to fire, I'd be more than happy to play it. So as I said, we'll mulligan this. And this is pretty good. I'm going to keep this. Probably going to bottom the Ramanap here. But the Ramanap does get back the land from Mox, which is kind of nice. Ah, interesting. Maybe I've set a... I think I've set a limit on it for a little while. so people can't like back them up every week. I think it's like maybe once a quarter. I really want the Mox because it means we can turn 2 something. But I think it might just be ramming up. Turn 2 the Knight. Still have 3 lands. Giver. Interesting. Plains. I don't mind Plains pass. Hold up the Mox. That doesn't play around Thalia's tax. But maybe that's... This is actually an interesting decision. And I think I might have played that Plains out a little bit too quickly, because if they play a Thalia, I do want the Caracas. If they don't, I kind of want the Blast Zone to start taking care of some of the lower creatures. And I also want the Stage because it's 1/2 of the combo. So maybe I actually don't play the Mox here. And then next turn see what they play. Because if they play Thalia, we can then just Caracas it anyway. So I think I will wait on the Mox here. There's definitely downsides to it, but a little bit more information would be really nice. This could also be like some sort of Hammer Time deck that they're trying to port into Legacy. Interesting. Well, that's a nice land to pitch to the Mox. And then I'm going to hide the Caracas and I'm going to hide the Blast Zone here, I think. Yeah, play the Stage. Main deck Hushbringer is really interesting. Didn't expect that. It's like a Torpor that flies. I know some people rather play the token, which I believe is a 1/3 or token type of creature. Something Vanguard. It's a 1/3 with pretty much the exact same text except no flying, no lifelink. Being a 1/3 allows you to get around Massacre, which is nice against Doomsday. Giver actually interesting as well because Caracas, it can give protection to Thalia because it's colorless as well that it gives protection from. So Caracas on Thalia actually isn't that great. You'd have to do it over multiple turns where I'd tap the Giver to fizzle the first one and then you untap and then Caracas again. Opponent having a good think. Repull Cheap with the Honor Guard. There we go. Too kind. Not too sure what the opponent's up to. I'm going to assume they're on kind of a different build of D&T. It looks like it's kind of anti-D&T if it's playing main deck Hushbringer. So it could be like a Phyrexian Dreadnought kind of deck, perhaps. It looks like it does have some sort of artifact facet to it, so that would actually be pretty interesting. But thankfully Blast Zone also a really nice way to deal with Phyrexian Dreadnought. It's a really cool card, and I feel like it should see more play in Legacy. Or at least I wish it did, because it has that sort of power level, but maybe it's just a little bit too slow. I'm not too sure if even 8-cast plays it, because it might be too slow for that. Needle. That's going to be fine, because the Blast Zone actually deals with it, which is nice. So another really good reason to play Blast Zone. They named Wasteland. Interesting. Okay. This is all fine. Happy here just to play Blast Zone and probably pass. I'm not going to attack with Knight either, but it does put them below that threshold. If they attack next turn with Hushbringer, then they go to 21, which is a little bit rough. It is looking like hammer time. I don't think I'm in the position where I want to like Blast Zone and then also Knight Wasteland, but it's interesting. Hey Boyd, welcome. Pretty good, thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here. There is a world where taking them off double white is good, but the only double white spell I really care about is Skyclave, and we can get Step anyway to give protection with Knight, so... I'm not too sure what this is. With Hushbringer main deck and this kind of artifact theme, I'm going to say it's like a kind of brew with Phyrexian Dreadnought, perhaps. Because I assume they're going to be playing Sagas, which in the end finds Phyrexian Dreadnought as well. And of course, with Hushbringer being a Torpor Up effect, you don't need to pay its ETB cost, which is kind of cool. Yeah, Spearman Saga, that's a great point. And maybe that's like just a one-off Pithy Needle as well. Blast Zone just insane here. I mean, if this was Mazavith, it would be a lot worse, especially with Giver of Runes allowing Mazavith to not really do anything. Opponent really in the tank. Luckily for us, there's no real pressure, so end step we can just fire off the Blast Zone, which means they can't really play any more 1-drops this turn. I guess if they equip, then I could potentially hit before the Shadow Spear hits, but I don't really care about it, so probably just going to be doing something in their end step. Sure. Sure. I could also go for the combo here with Crop, which is pretty interesting. But I think I'm pretty happy just blast zoning. Hmm. 2 mana, use Knight. And then I have the blast zone to throw away to like a Sajiri step. No, I'm gonna blast zone here. Sure. Ah, so we currently have 2 steps, which is nice. There's another one in the deck. Probably should have used Knight there just to put an extra land in the bin, but that's okay. Oh, Wasteland's actually pretty nice. But I probably just want to play the Wasteland and pass. Just in case of an opposing... So we have the combo here, which is nice. So we kind of have a free spell, which is probably crop rotation. So it's probably Wasteland, because I don't really care about the Caracas. Wastelands maybe for like an opposing Caracas. Sure. See if they attack. They do attack. Interesting. So they have 2 cards. I could go for it because I have the crop back up and they've already played a land for turn. I feel like if they had swords, they would have used it. Maybe they have Prismatic Ending main deck. Yeah, that's fine. Pro white. Interesting, they're going to try digging, which is pretty good for us. Oof, Safekeeper's a huge draw. Attack with both. They have to chump. Play a land, play Safekeeper. Nice. Very nice. Hey, Jono, welcome. Hope you and the family doing well. Do you have any band events coming up for Christmas? Opponent would need something a little bit left field here. Something like second White Source Council's Judgment main deck. Ballista, that's fine. If they try to kill the Safekeeper, then we can just... Huh. Yeah, hopefully some things change up with MTGO here. So I assume, yeah, they sack and try to hit. In response... To be fair, we don't even need this. We can just, like... sack a land, try to get pro. They could respond, but then we have a backup anyway. Yeah, it works out the same. And target it again. Sack a land. Nice. Alright. What looks to be, I'm going to say, Dreadnought TNT. So looking at these kind of cards, Tabernacle is definitely interesting as well. Happy to take out the Moxen. Probably a Sylvan. Pachuca Bog. Blossom was really solid there. Sujiri Step's fine. Our own Sagas are fine. It could just be trimming. Or maybe overcommitting here. But I really like all these cards. Yeah, it might just be like one library and like drop it one night. Because I still like the Reclaimers and the Crops. I think this is pretty solid. Maybe it's Endurance actually. Maybe I'll just try to keep on the combo. Not in too big of a rush either, which is nice where it's nice to cut the Mox Diamonds. Sometimes trim Dark Depths first TNT. Yeah, could definitely do that as well. That's actually a pretty nice one. Maybe it's worth keeping in one Sylvan Library, just because these games are going to go a little bit longer. And we do have Ram It Up to get back to Dark Depths anyway. But I think, yeah, especially seeing they have a few ways to... deal with it. Yeah, library is always interesting. I feel like sometimes when I'm too aggressive with library, then the Saga tokens can really get me. But yeah, don't need chokes, definitely silences, endurance. pretty happy with this trim. Alright, alright, alright. What do we got? Ugh. Ugh. Yuck. If look, it does have a pretty nice removal suite. Just doesn't have a green source, which I just can't keep. I just can't keep this. I'm sure there's some people who could take the risk and get the biscuit, but just not for me. Okay, this is better. I'm gonna keep this. Now, we haven't seen too much of their deck, so I think it's Needle that I'm just gonna put away. Green Suns does represent a Reclaimer, but I kind of want to open up on Reclaimer. There's a world where I might also just want to open up on Green Suns for Dryad Arbor, hold the Needle, then turn 2 we can Knight, and then turn 3 we just have the combo through stage. Maybe that's better. I don't mind this as like a little setup. Are biscuits cookies or bread in Australia? Biscuits are cookies. But I know around the world it's a little bit different. So we also then have chips, which are like crisps. Potato chips. Oh, okay. Well, that's a nice one to probably start on, actually. Wouldn't mind taking out the vial. Off our own flagstones as well, which is nice, which means Wasteland's pretty much useless anyway. I actually don't mind that. Especially if our opponent kept like a pretty dodgy hand based on the vial. Tomb. Interesting. Yeah, we say chips. We say chips. Torpor Orb is more than fine. I guess that is their game plan, so... Well, they have a Dreadnought, so that's a big... Oh. Can you draw it up any better? Just want to think about our next few turns here. I think it's going to be Swords Dreadnought and then Green Suns for Dryad Arbor, just to get that mana flowing. But that was really scary. Opponent keeping it at 1. Interesting. Prismatic Ending on Pithing Needle. Okay. Excuse me? All right. I guess it's Wasteland then Night. Hey, Grid. Yeah, this is a cool card. Very interesting. Probably a really nice time to have like a Force of Vigor. We got a reader. Yeah, we do have a reader. It's happening! It's happening! Oh, they found a Dreadnought. Do they have a land? They don't have a land. Perfect. Saga. Doesn't matter. I think I get in for one here. I wonder if there's a world where I have to play the second knight and then start sacking some stuff to try to double block the Dreadnought, take the 9, go to 1. Is there a world where that's the case? So next turn, they can't attack me because we have the 20/20, which is nice. I guess we also have a Blast Zone to take out the Vial and the Dreadnought, so we're actually in a pretty good spot. I think we're going to be okay. This card's cool. I will have to get the lifts off this player if they respond. This card's hilarious. Kind of looks like the spaceship from Avengers, the big like kind of Leviathan, I guess, looking thing. Come on, mate. Opponent having a good think. Probably a lot of lines with this deck, which is pretty cool. What is the card in the graveyard? Board the Weatherlight, which is kind of like a Once Upon a Time in a way. Pretty cool card. This is fine. Everything is fine. Oh, no attacks. Do I want to sack the Dryad over here? I think I do. Yeah. Opponent has a sword? No, I think if they had a sword, they would have attacked. Yeah. Interesting. That's kind of cool. Means we can sack the flagstones if need be. I think that's better than Saga. I think Saga's just a little bit too slow. One, two, three. Maybe not. Maybe it is just Saga into Night Pass. I don't believe I attack here either. Oh god, the spammers are here. Grid. Done. Maybe I could attack. Just thinking if I attack and they don't block, they just go to 7. And then have to go back down to 1. See how this all ends up. We haven't used a step yet either, which is kind of nice. Giver's pretty annoying. But to be fair, we also have untap into Blast Zone, which is pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, Blast Zone again, just so good here. Attack for lethal, they have to chump block, then we can hold up Knight here for step. Come on. Interesting. I think we allow the trade here. Because I don't want to lose the 2020. They need double removal spell. Nice. Very cool. Cool, calm, collected. Just how I like my magic. There we go, team. That's all chat. Obviously. Blast Zone there, MVP. Blast Zone just so strong. I think the Needle did a lot as well. Turning off the turn 1 Needle meant they couldn't untap Needle to Vial to 1, land, play Torpor Orb, and then Vial in Phyrexian Dreadnought a turn earlier and get that hit in. Yorion. Okay. I don't mind this. Turn 1 Safekeeper, turn 2 Library. Just going to 6 here because I don't really want to save the Sylvan Library from any sort of removal. I don't believe. Yeah, I'd rather get the library down next turn. That's pretty huge. So unless they have another prismatic ending, we're going to get some value out of this, which is really nice. Yes. I'd love to find a Mox Diamond. No Mox, but still. Some cool cards. And I am just going to get aggressive here and just pay for it all. They definitely could have back to basics, but seeing that they went dual land first, I wasn't too unhappy to go for duels. But I could definitely see where that's an issue. Wow, they went for their own library over Wasteland. That's really interesting. I kind of like Forest and then Needle and Wasteland. But yeah, back to basics is definitely a card to think about when you see these kind of BANT colors, for sure. But luckily, seeing how they've started, I think that's not something we have to really worry about in this circumstance, which is pretty nice because it usually is a card that is pretty good. Sure. Now here's a question. Now that Wasteland has this ability of add 1 mana of any color, if I copy it with Thespian Stage, do I also keep that ability from Abundant Growth? Because does it give the land? Yeah, I think it does. So I think I would get it, which is pretty cool if I did stage it. Okay. We do know what's on top, so I kind of just want to go for crop here. Really for the shuffle effect. And just because I will want to swords this at some point, I will just swords it now. We draw planes, I think. Oh, a bog isn't too bad. We know about an Uro though, so I'm actually going to hold the bog and just play Dried Arbor here. This is definitely a tough matchup. The Prismatic Endings, the Ice Fangs, the Teferis, the Wastelands, a few other things line up pretty well. Bird's okay. I kind of want to copy my Dried Arbor and just start attacking for 2. I'm just going to do that. Oh, Endurance would be tough. They have an Ice Fang. That's going to be okay, I guess. I'm going to swords that. Which I should have done in response to the draw, in case they draw blue card or force. Now I'm getting towards territory where I have to worry about Uro coming down the same turn as they can cast it. Sure. Green Suns for 3 perhaps? Please be Uro. No. Okay. Well, that's a start. Definitely feel like I'm in the 20% here to win this, but I will get to see more of my opponent's deck, which is nice. Jace bounce here pretty good, Teferi bounce. Yeah. Okay. This is going to be a tough one. Could potentially see Blast Zone coming out of this matchup. Mox Diamonds are a little bit slow, and Teferi Bounce is a real thing. I do like the chokes just because they're pretty annoying. Also the Prismatic Endings to get rid of really anything from Abundant to Sylvan Library to creatures to Planeswalkers. I also don't mind the Endurances. I'm going to take out some number of crops. And maybe just bring in the Soul Guide. Kind of like that. I think that's pretty nice. Force of Vigor is definitely a consideration as well, but it looks like they're pretty dual heavy, so I don't think they're going to be on a back to basics plan. His hand's just a little bit slow. Yikes. Not a great hand either. Well, sometimes it just doesn't line up, but that is okay. We'll drop the step and probably a Heath. Could also drop the Cradle here. Maybe that's a little bit better. Land first and then Saga next. Can also get basics here, which is nice. Loam. Okay. Just gonna get the basic out of the deck. Don't want to draw the planes, so. Ugh. I guess we can hit the Loam here, but then we can't make a dude. I think I'd rather make a dude. Maybe see if they play like a Uro next turn. And then we also have Soul Guide Lantern coming, which is kind of cool. Grist. Okay. Interesting. Could just go for Needle here. Naming Grist. So doing a Wasteland this turn. Could also Swords the token and then get both at Grist. A few options. I think it's just Soul Guide. Taking out Savannah. They already have an island for the blue source, so. Interesting. Swords before draw. Force. Kept in force negation. Interesting. Probably just want to land pass here. Don't want to show the Bajuka Bog just yet. Yikes. Library really good here. No pressure from us. They can't just take 8, yeah. I don't have a third basic, so the Wasteland's going to hit a Savannah here, but that's okay. I get to Endurance the Uru here. Hey Runcore, welcome. Knight's pretty good, not gonna lie. Wasteland in the Arbor first, so they can't chump block with the Arbor and then trade the insect for a creature. I haven't tried Tower and Magistrate yet, but I do want to. I think I might actually have it. I did get it off Card Hoarder, but I didn't get it in the deck, unfortunately. Hey Jack, welcome. Will solve Thopter problems, that's very true. Yeah. Alright. Well, there's the BANT matchup for you. Yeah, Tower the Magistrate is a very cool card. Really nice against the side decks, the Urza decks, with Retrofitter. Obviously nice against Kaldra as well. Little side bit. I'll keep this. It's pretty all in on the combo, but I think that's okay. Just going to go for basic into Dried Arbor, so turn 2 we can just turn Thespian Stage into a basic. Flooded Strand. I think I will just still play out stage here. And then pass. Double Flooded Strand. Definitely tempting to play Sylvan Library here, but I think I'd rather just hold up the combo. Actually, maybe I do want to play Library, because I kind of want to just, like, there's no pressure here, so I'd rather take the time to get another land into play to play Crop Rotation and hold up Step. So I should have actually attacked there with the Dried Arbor. Brainstorm's okay. That's okay. Do you think Force of Vigor is relevant on the Elves versus Green-White matchup? I don't think Force of Vigor is relevant. What do you think is relevant for Force of Will in that matchup? Now we're in a nice position. We get to hold up the combo and Crop Rotation. Ugh. I still don't mind going for it here. Probably just getting rid of Dried Arbor. Sorry, probably just getting rid of the Flagstones, of course. Pretty happy just to go for it here. I mean, if they have Prismatic Ending, Caracas, and Swords in hand, they have it. But I'm pretty happy to see if they do. Okay. Cool. Reclaim is pretty nice. Ice Fang's fine. But BANT again is going to be a tough one. Especially seeing they're still on 5 cards. Urza Saga is pretty sweet. I do really like it. Nice. Definitely just want to save the time for these other games. So I do like the chokes. I do like the prismatic endings. I do like the endurances. Soul Guide. Moxes can come out. Blast Zone can come out. Crop. I think this is pretty okay. But yeah, BANT a huge problem. I'm not sure if it's just the way that I attack the matchup, but I find it really difficult. Yikes. Yeah. Yeah, needles for things like Caracas, Teferi, opposing wastelands can be okay. Probably could have gone to 5 to try to find a Sylvan Library, but definitely tough. Yeah, I think if they're using a prismatic ending on the Pithy Needle, I'm more than happy with that. I guess the Yavimaya was my second green source. Sure. I think I still like Wasteland here. Tough though. Okay. It's pretty good. I don't think I have to worry about Ice Fang here because of choke, thankfully. will try to get them down with Dried Arbor below 20. Prismatic Ending on Choke. Second choke? Green Suns. Interesting. I wonder if it's time for step. Yeah, green choke creature would be sweet. Okay. Could hold the way 10 for Krakus, but I really want to take him off as much mana as I can, especially with double green. Interesting tap. They didn't use the white here, but maybe they don't want to recast it. Pretty good. Hey Jide, a huge thank you for the sub. Hope you're doing well. Too kind. Oh my gosh. Just things line up so well. Saga is actually pretty interesting here. I think I just go for stage, and then next turn, just don't draw step. Just don't draw the one step I have. Okay. I don't want to waste time with Saga. If I'm playing paper, I'll probably get Saga, but not online. They have one card left. I think I actually just attack here and just keep the step in the deck. Of course, their last card. They could cast Uro and go up. Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh. One of the most frustrating matchups that I come across with Green-White Depths is definitely this deck. But definitely nice to get that little win. Do I want to change anything? I don't think I do. I think I'm pretty happy just to run this back. Yeah. I really don't want to go down on cards against this deck, so... Okay. Okay. I think that's better than ramming up here. Nice. Wow, they're going to endurance me? Really? Sure. That's more than fine. Oh, okay. Nice, nice, nice. I think I just want to go for Green Suns for Knight. And then we have the two ways to find the combo. Instead of going for Step, I could go for Sajuris for Safekeeper here, which would be pretty interesting as well. But I think I just want to try to find the second piece ASAP. They could have Containment Priest, but we have the swords here. And now I'm happy just to hold up Crop. For Step, in case they have some sort of removal effect. They're trying to show that they have another endurance. Don't really care about. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think 2 life is going to matter, but I do like kind of clearing the board. Not sure what the trap is. I'm going to assume they think that we can fetch blockers a 3/3 and then they endurance us to make it a 2/2 again. But we have the crop rotation, which they don't know about. Play out the Knight once I fetch. Yeah, that's very true. Another Knight is pretty cool. So now we have 3 mana in total for the combo, and then we have 3 mana left over, which is kind of nice. So I actually don't mind second Knight here. We'll actually have more mana for the combo because Dark Depths with the Yavimaya is a mana as well. I guess, yeah, if they deal damage first, that's very correct. Alright. So... could potentially hold the crop, to be fair. I'm not Dark Depthsing this turn anyway, but looks like they just gave in, so that's pretty nice. I think I would have just gone for Dark Depths untapped and then had up the Knights as protection with Step. I'm in no race anyway to get the Dark Depths off, so always nice to lose to a deck like BANT and then, you know, learn from my mistakes a little bit and win the next one, so... Yeah, I think again, like in paper, Saga's fine, but it's 12:30 at night. Like, I'm not going to go for Saga there. All right, let's 4-1 this. Hey Wolf, welcome. Hope you're doing well. So 11:23 on the play. Nice. Oof, so close. I don't think I can keep this based on the Dryad Arbor. It's got everything though. Just really sucks if we lose the Dryad Arbor. I think I will muddle it because it's just something that I don't like doing, keeping just the green source as the Dryad Arbor. Okay, happy to keep this and bottom the Bajuka Bog. And then lead on the Savannah. Could hold up Crop, but I'm probably happy just to Green Suns for Dryad Arbor. You think that, Jack, but I've definitely been caught out. Looks like we're definitely up against Doomsday, which doesn't make that easier. I wonder if that means we go Yavimaya into Green Suns. Because then if we draw Dark Depths, we can just combo off the following turn. Yeah. Hey Dion, thanks for the follow. Let me know where you're from. If you play Legacy, what you play in Legacy. Once is pretty good, but it does just take up space. I think the deck already has enough fluff to it that it's hard to fit it in when you already have like the Sylvan Libraries, the Green Suns, the Crops. If you're trying to fit in onces, then you're probably taking away some of the actual targets for these, which is pretty tough. But it, like on paper, it does look very nice because it, you know, both sides are very relevant to Green White Depths. A lot of the older builds definitely did, and you could probably find a world where if Sylvan Library isn't that great. Yikes. There's like curses? Lily. Alright. Did not expect this. Oh, flagstones. It's actually kind of nice. I think library here is just better than anything else. Especially against a Pox deck, getting the library into play is quite hard for them to beat. Or get away from at least. From Russia? Very cool. I think I just want to discard the Savannah. The other two cards are pretty relevant, and I'm most likely going to find a card off this Sylvan Library, a green source. Hiya! Nice. Um, question is, what am I doing this turn? What could I do with flagstones? Is there a way to empty my hand in a positive way? Maybe I don't even need the Mox, to be fair. Yeah, maybe I do pay for Mox and just pitch it to Lily. Yeah, that's a nice one. Happy to crop over 2 turns. We can crop away the flagstones and get a stage and then go for Dark Depths the turn after. It's probably still okay. Yeah. They probably take a crop. If they take Green Suns, I'd be pretty happy, to be fair. Oh, they do take Green Suns. They have 0 cards in hand? Okay. Very interesting play. Savannah. Crop away the flag. Go and get a Savannah. Go and get stage. Oh, I didn't find a land? Rough. Thought I would have found a land. We put these on top and then we can search. We can shuffle anyway. Now we sack. Nice. Interesting. I'm definitely going for it here. They might have like a sudden edict, but if they drew that, they drew it. Oh, they're at 23? Didn't realize they're at 23. That's pretty hilarious. Actually, okay, that's fine. We just attack the Lily then. Yeah. Definitely. Wow. Okay. I guess Bob plus like Smallpox does it? Ah, Smallpox does tie the game. Hit Delta? Smallpox does, yeah, Jack, thank you. That's a good pickup. Nice. Very cool to come out of that. I think it's just the prismatic endings here. I also don't mind the endurances as just flash creatures. What do I want to take out? Maybe it's the Mox Diamonds here. The only upside of the Mox Diamonds against this deck is Turn 1 Library. That's just really good. But otherwise the Moxes are kind of rough. I like Ramanap because just getting back those lands that we might lose are pretty nice. I like the Needle. Could just be a trim of like a Knight, especially if we're bringing in more 3-drops and endurances. See how this goes. Definitely don't want to have a hand of like, you know, 3 land, 3 3-drops. Okay, I'll keep this. This is a really fast combo, which is kind of nice. And it has the Sylvan Library as well. The question is, do I want a Green Suns? Yes. Because then next turn we can Dark Depths and then hold up the combo as well. Yeah. It also might be like the target of a Wasteland, which would be kind of cool. Oof. That's okay. The library. Dried Up also gives us a bit of protection from sack effects, which is nice. Interesting to have Chalice on 1, because I assumed the deck would have a fair amount of 1-drops as well. Dark Ritual, probably Thoughtseize, maybe some more 1-mana removal spells. Sinkhole. Well, that's okay. At least we did play the land we have multiples of. Yeah, maybe they play Chalice instead of Thoughtseize. Honestly, pretty happy just to bite the bullet there. Steve would be really happy. Shout out to Steve from Melbourne. Great guy, great friend. Cavern? I'm probably happy to play around Wasteland here and just... Okay. Make the Duck Depths now? I'd rather play around the Wasteland that we've seen than maybe like a one-off Caracas. There's the Wasteland. Very nice. That's good. Maybe they're trying to get us to like double sack. Oof. Nice. Put on top, put on top. Just in case of like some weird card. Pro black. Attack them. Nice. Yes. Nice to finish 4-1. Very cool. Very, very cool. Deck was sick. Deck was really fun. I really like Blast Zone. I think Blast Zone was quite strong in a lot of the matchups that we faced, which is cool and gave some really nice outs against that Mono-W Dreadnought deck. The main deck Needle was fine. I do like having the one-off Saga in the deck as just a way to get some extra value, especially with Thespian Stage and Excavator and multiple ways to find it. I think one's fine instead of just in the usual two. It's just a lot easier to find space for one than it is for two. Prismatic Endings in the board were okay. When it attacked Lily. What's the option to stack the sideboard like this? I believe it's just display pile view. Yeah, and then just putting them all in a list. And then just making it nice and neat for you guys. Yeah, I think yeah, Green White's obviously really fun to play. It does have, as you can see, some times where if your opponent has just really good 1/4 and removal, like Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Endings, it can be tough to get kind of motivated to pull through it. Probably some early concessions there against BANT, but that's pretty, yeah, just happens sometimes. What's your worst matchup? I would say probably Doomsday. Yeah, Doomsday's pretty tough just because a lot of the combo hate doesn't line up. Like Deafening Silence, you know, Force of Vigor, Graveyard Hate, things like that. If you want to target Doomsday, you can play some interesting cards like Torpor Orb. We do have Endurance, which helps, but usually a Doomsday player will know that, you know, this is Green White Depths, they make a pile, they probably want to play around Doomsday, so they have like a second Thassa's Oracle or some sort of Stifle effect, perhaps. And D&T has a lot of answers. D&T is pretty tough. But a fun matchup. I would say D&T is a really interactive matchup, which is nice. Yeah, Pact to Negation is really good for the Endurance decks. I guess Elves is probably the difference because of Allosaurus Shepherd, but... yeah, having multiple Endurance or Endurai can really help as well. But yeah, team, always nice to finish on a 4-1. I'll probably be back tomorrow morning, so in like 11 hours, play something else. I've definitely been thinking about running Shepherd as a one-off, kind of like a safekeeper, but finding space is the hardest part. I think the one really nice thing about Green White Depths is the consistency of it, because you have so many 4-ofs, you have so many ways of finding everything from creatures to lands. So it is hard to find room. Maybe something like Knight of Autumn coming to the board, or Ramanap. I think Ramanap is pretty solid though, especially with the build with Saga, so always tough. Thanks, Wolf. Hope you're doing well. That's me. That is me. It looks like Legacy Council just started streaming, which is nice, so I'm going to send you guys over there. I have been streaming a lot recently. It's been really fun to be back, which is cool. So yeah, probably play something different yesterday or tomorrow as well. I played D&T on yesterday, and then this morning I played Maverick, and then today Green White Depths. If you want to find all those matches, they'll be on my YouTube recently, which you can find here. And of course, you can find me on Twitter. Alright all, peace out, enjoy your nights, enjoy your days, and I'll catch you soon. Cheers.